Welcome back, everyone. This is SciTech with Tech Riot Gaming, here with a brand new Let's Play / playthrough series. I thought I'd get another one started while we're waiting for updates from like Planet Crafter and Remains and a few of the other early access games we've been playing. The Planet Crafter episodes are going to continue. In fact, there should be one coming out along with this new playthrough. But I wanted to just get into this with you guys to share it because I've been having a ton of fun playing it. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like an action RPG colony management base building game. While not a unique concept, I think the approach they have to it is somewhat unique, and I've just been having a ton of fun. Obviously I have an offline solo playthrough I'm working on, but for the sake of this playthrough, we'll start a brand new career and we'll just kind of go through. So far I probably have, I don't know, 15 to 20 hours into it, and I'm not through all of the content in early access yet. So it should provide a fair amount of episodes for us. So let's just get right into it. Here we go. This is Cygnus Enterprises. This is my offline playthrough. We're going to start a new one.
Long ago, humanity reached towards the stars. However, primitive technology meant the age of interstellar travel ended before it could begin. Despite the dangers, we at Cygnus Enterprises dared to dream.
Our faster-than-light technology has set the new course of human destiny, making the settlement of Earth-like planets across the galaxy possible. A new era of prosperity dawns, and we stand at its forefront.
Are you ready to leave your old life behind?
To seek employment among the galaxy's best and brightest.
Cygnus Enterprises. Progress starts with you.
Okay, so this is where we customize our character. I'll try not to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I think this is where you pick male or female, right? I always play female, so we'll stick with female. You know what, for the sake of just getting into this, we're... I was hoping there would be a blue. We'll do pink. Yeah, we'll just go with this. I won't spend a whole lot of time, but there are some customization options. Not a whole lot. Obviously, you can see by the numbers here, but at least there is some. So and you also have some presets you can select from up here. And you can randomize also, but we're just going to pick this and move on with it. Let's get a name here. Do I do just classic ramen? I want something a little better than that. Let's see. We'll go with Avery.
Congratulations on your first assignment, contractor. I will be your designated personal electronic assistant for this mission, or PIA for short. The company has tasked you to restore its planet-side facilities on Nautilus to full operational capacity. As we commence our deorbit burn, I would like to ask you to familiarize yourself with
Looks like we had a little bit of a problem getting into orbit.
Good news, you survived deployment. Bad news, your pod may explode at any moment.
Great. There goes my stuff.
Not all of it. The cargo pods land separately in eventualities such as these. I am detecting one nearby.
Okay, so this is Prologue. Obviously, this is still early access. I guess we'll get into it in a bit. I'll see if you guys notice the differences. But obviously, right now in the Prologue, this yellow arrow is pointing you to your objective.
You have reviewed the weapons operation manual. Correct.
Point and pull the trigger. Got it.
Cygnus Enterprises will not be held accountable for disposals resulting from less than stellar marksmanship.
So obviously it's giving us little tutorials here. WASD to move around, spacebar to roll. Those are default. I've changed my key bindings because I have a split keyboard with angled for ergonomic hand positions. So I use ESDF instead of WASD. Anyway, so if you see those key bindings in this game, it's just because I've rebound them. Obviously it's just point and shoot. It will auto reload, or you can manually reload. They didn't drop anything, did they? Okay.
The target site is located to the east. Please proceed with caution.
It would have been helpful if our drop pod managed to land in the base as programmed. I almost died in that crash.
I will relay your feedback to Cygnus Enterprises. Thank you.
Somehow,
Your opinion is important to
I
us.
don't think she's relaying any of those
Why
comments.
didn't you warn me that opening the cargo might attract those things?
The training dataset for personal electronic assistance does not include such outlier conditions. Adaptability to unexpected situations remains a human specialty for now.
Locate the base. Okay. You guys are probably like, wow, this tutorial prologue guidance really sucks. It kind of does, and they need to work on this, but it gets definitely way better, trust me. Obviously, these guys are chargers, so you just have to keep moving. They'll zone in on you. That's what those little red lines are. And you can easily dodge them. I tend to explore all corners of a map. I mean, I've already gone through this prologue, but you'll see in my general gameplay as I go through. This game has a tendency to put crates and, you know, discoverables and things like in obscure areas of the map. Oof. Our base is not looking like it's in too good a shape.
Where is everyone?
Uncertain, according to the contract details. Cygnus Enterprises lost all communication with the space 6 months ago.
Where should we start?
Please locate the headquarters. From there, it may be possible to restore power to the base. The console is dead, initiating scan for replacement parts. Nearby containers hold components required to replace the power relays. Once the power is restored, the headquarters' self-repairing drones will do the rest.
Okay, so we're just going to run around real quick, pick up these power cores. Okay, and every time you progress in the game and something new happens, it'll give you these like little close-up kind of like tutorial info journal entries. So this is basically saying stamina for our PIA, right? Because we don't actually do the collecting, the robot does. It does what we tell it to, and it will use stamina to harvest things, catch fish, produce items, so on and so forth. And you'll see how that gets used in a little bit as we progress through. It's just basically telling us you use stamina for those things and you have a limited amount, and then after you progress to the next day, it refills. Pretty straightforward.
Excellent work. This is the first step in returning the base to a productive state. I can assist in gathering a limited quantity of resources every day. Just point at some plants you wish me to collect.
You got it.
Okay, now you can see we have this little objective arrow again. Again, it does get better, trust me. This is just kind of prologue tutorial stuff, unfortunately. You see it's using stamina over here.
Remaining buildings.
As Cygnus Enterprises anticipated this eventuality, replacement power cores were part of your dispatch. Please consult the world map interface and find your way to the respective landing sites.
Okay, so I don't really want to go over the UI yet because it's not filled in because we're still in the tutorial epilogue. So we'll just progress through this real quick, and once we get through the epilogue tutorial, then I will go through the various interfaces and stuff. Okay, so this is our world map. You can do one of these badges per quote-unquote day. So the game works in day cycles. So once you go to the world map and complete one of these badges, it will say progress to the next day. It'll show you everything you earned that day, grant you the experience for what you did, so on and so forth, show you what your facilities either created or consumed, and will progress to the next day. So we're just going to pick one of these. I think they're all the same. Let's see. Recommended gear score 5, level 2 enemies, level 1 enemies, level 3 enemies. So we're going to go with the lowest level enemy here. It looks like we're going to get a new gun as part of it. Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember because it's been so long since I did the prologue if these other two disappear when you pick one. I'm noticing that the weapon types that you're getting as rewards, there's something unique about them. Obviously, they are different classes. You can see that's like a sniper. This is like either a submachine gun or maybe even a shotgun. And then this is an assault rifle. And they're all giving the same resources. Power core, 5... Oh, no, that's got fruit on it. This one's got extra fruit on it. We're gonna... In my offline playthrough, I did the assault rifle one. I want to do something different this playthrough. But I don't remember which weapon type is with which profession, so... We're just going to go here. Hopefully we'll get to do all three, but we'll see.
The cargo pod in this area has fractured upon impact. Let's see if we can find any fragments of the power core among the remaining debris.
Okay,
Why did they attack us this time?
Some organisms hoard objects to impress each other. As a human, you should empathize with such an urge.
now the big boy. Okay. Obviously, we have really weak weaponry right now. Oh boy. And you can see that they drop things sometimes, and you can pick them up. You can see our little yellow arrows kind of directing us where to go, but I want to... Yeah, so see, here's a bonus crate. This is something that is not part of the mission, but it's just kind of found on the map. And you can see we got an item out of it. Sometimes it's crafting materials, sometimes it's armor weapons. It really just depends on... Now we can also, you can see down here it says right click to do this. It's like the weapon modes have secondary functions. So like, you see how fast it's shooting? It's not very accurate, but it's faster shooting, right? I tend not to use it because of the inaccuracy, but I mean, it's there if you need a sudden burst of damage. Like up close or something. Oops.
4 pieces should be sufficient for a power core reconstruction.
Well, obviously this is Prologue, so it's pretty easy. Alright, we're gonna grab that crate. Oops, I should have reloaded. I don't always pay attention to my ammo levels, and I should. I'm mainly just doing this to get... If you notice in the upper right hand corner, when I kill stuff, you see that like handgun plus 3 points. You earn proficiency in the weapons that you use, and it increases their, you know, attributes, right, as you increase your proficiency. I also have a skill on my number 1. I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. Oh, it's a grenade. A shot grenade, it looks like.
It just doesn't add up. Our cargo serves no purpose to these animals.
A deep curiosity is not a trait exclusive to human beings.
Okay, reach extraction point. Oops. Oh, I missed him. Alright, extraction point's down here, probably where we already explored. I was hoping to find something else to show you guys, but apparently that's not in the prologue, so we'll wait till we do a regular mission and I'll show it to you. So here it shows you that you know, success or fail of your mission. If you're successful, it'll show you the loot that it awarded you as part of completing. This is not what you picked up during the mission. This is what the mission awarded you. So all the stuff I picked up during the mission is additional loot in addition to this. And so you can see there it progressed, right? So day 1 done. And it shows we earned experience for going to day 1. We earned a weapon specialty. You can see the experience bar going around here. That's showing me how close I am to the next level. We also got some experience for doing our harvesting with our stamina. Okay, another kind of tutorial entry here. So 2 types of masteries. Base mastery gained from a variety of base activities, right? So it's crafting and science research and manufacturing, gardening, commerce. And then combat mastery is gained from defeating enemies with weapon types. So pistol, assault rifle, sniper, minigun, grenade/rocket launcher. Gaining mastery ranks will increase your overall level. So as we gain in these things, it progresses to our player level as it progresses our player level, right? So our player doesn't earn experience. We level up by gaining experience in these other areas, essentially. Then it's also letting us know that upon leveling up, we gain attribute points and skill points, AP and SP, right? And I'll show this to you when we get in there. You can spend AP and SP in the attributes and skills panel to improve your performance in combat and other areas.
You did well in recovering one of the power cores. You may now find yourself able to restore one of the buildings in the base. I am looking forward to reporting our success to Cygnus Enterprises.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There are still many more derelict buildings out there.
Indeed. Please resume working, contractor.
Oh, okay. No problem. So now we've got like objectives over here. This is still not the full UI, but we'll go over it as parts of it start to fill in. So this is giving me, you know, this yellow orangish is main storyline stuff, and this is kind of right now it's giving me some tutorial stuff, right? But it can also be side quest type stuff or non-storyline things. So let's go ahead and go into our attributes and skills. Okay, this is going to take a little time to go over. So you have these 6 varying areas that you can specialize in. Security, engineering, science, medical, pilot, and social, right? And as you level up each of these masteries or areas of expertise, you can see as I hover over it that every time I level up security, I'm going to get increased weapon damage and a reduction in encumbrance penalty. Every time I upgrade a point into engineer, I'm going to get, decreased reload times and increased damage over time for burn and poison. Science, every time I put a point in, I'm going to get increased critical hit chance and damage. Medical, anytime I put a point in, I'll get increased to my HP. If I put a point into pilot, I will get increased movement speed. We'll get a reduction in our roll cooldown and potentially increase the number of rolls or dodges that we can do. And then if I put a point into social, I will get increased skill cooldown and increased merchant discounts. So right now we're on security, and you can see this is the bar here. So 10, 25, 50, and 100, right? And as we put points in and we hit these unlock tiers, that's when we unlock the skill tree for that specialization, right? So this is the security skill tree. And, the first one we get, is flashbang. Now you can see in the upper right hand corner of this little info panel, it's got like a blue microchip with the number 1. That is essentially your skill points that requires to unlock that. So you see I hover over this, it shows red as 2 because I need 2 skill points to unlock that. But I can't even try to unlock this until I get to 10 on my security level, right? Which is right here by adding points here, right? Now, this is where it gets a little deep as far as what you can do, and it goes into that replayability comment I made, is that I could decide that I want to be an assault rifle heavy security dude. And I'm just going to dump all of my points. Every single point I get, I'm going to grow this tree, and I'm just going to unlock all these skills. And that's it. But what you can do, and what I've done in my offline playthrough, is you can put points into all of these. And there's a reason why you might want to do that. But there's also a reason you might not want to, right? And I can get into that, I think, a little bit later on as we progress through the story and get through this prologue. I'll have the ability to better explain what I mean by that. But for now, this is the gist of the attribute and skill system, right? So I want this playthrough, I'm going to go through science, I think. Yeah, science and pilot. The only reason I like pilot is because you get a passive minigun drone, and you don't have to summon it. It's not a skill. It just flies around you and shoots stuff. And you get a taser drone later. I mean, you can unlock a bunch of drones, right? Other skill classes, like engineer, you get a fire drone here. But, I mean, these are way up here in the skill tree, like 50 unlock, right? So for now, we're going to do science. Sure. Make it a little difficult on myself initially. I want first aid. So you can see that I was able to unlock this, right? Even though I have put no points in, it's got 1 point by default. Or no, it doesn't. It has 0 points, but this doesn't require any points to be active, but I could use my skill point to turn it on. So I've got first aid, right, which is heal damage and remove random debuffs. So even though I'm put points into science, I picked up the medical, and it doesn't require me to have points in it. Okay. So now I need to equip my new unlock skill and equip a secondary weapon, according to these over here, right? Okay, this is my character summary. my character sheet, essentially. It's what you get when you hit C. It shows you what my HP is, what my energy is, what my stamina is, any armor rating that I have, my critical hit chance, movement speed, number of rolls, cooldown, my weight encumbrance, etc. level. It shows my proficiencies in all of these things. We have the loadout tab. This is where you're going to configure all of the gear and equipment that you have. So obviously, this is my default Cygnus and pistol that I had, which is 37.5 DPS. It's got a combat score of 4. That's what that little cross swords means. That's kind of how you determine the power of a item, either weapon or armor, or a artifact, backpack, or attachment, right? So that's kind of like item power score, right? Is what that combat score is. And you notice if I hover over this one, by default, it's going to show you the gain and loss if you were to equip that item over what you currently have. So you can see my DPS goes up, my number of rounds in my mag goes up, my damage per round goes down, right? But my fire rate goes up significantly, right? And I also get a critical hit damage increase of 6.4%. So we're going to go ahead and equip that. I wanted it to do it as a secondary weapon, so I guess I'll just throw the pistol in there to get through the tutorial. And then it wants me to equip my new skill. I like to put heal on 3, so we're going to do that. So this will show all skills that I have, and you assign them by obviously clicking on your tab. So like I could come over here and change this out if I wanted to, but I don't have anything else to switch it to. Okay, so we got rid of our secondary objectives. So now we need to restore the scanning tower, restore the processing plant, and restore the recycler. So the first thing I want to do is restore the scanning tower. And there's a reason why I'm doing this first, and I'll tell you in a second. Okay, this is where it's going to talk about the random missions on the world map. So we have random combat missions. There are 3 types of random missions: combat, collection, and dilemma. So combat missions are what you think they are. You go into them, you fight something, you have some objectives, you beat the objective, you win the mission, right? You can gain resources and masteries from combat. Collection missions are instantaneous missions. You do no player action at all. You just click on it and you take whatever is in the mission. It's instantaneous. So they're a quick way to gather resources without going into combat. But again, you can only do one of these badges per day. So if you click it, you're not going to be able to go out and fight stuff to get things like meat and other materials that you might collect on a normal combat mission, right? It's just going to be your day. So you want to make sure that if you're taking a collection mission, you're good with only getting that stuff for the day. And you essentially get those rewards directly after accepting the mission, right? There's no playing of the mission. And then dilemma missions are also instantaneous. You really have no action to do, no playing of the mission. There's going to give you 3 cards, and it's basically like a choose your own adventure style moral decision. And each decision will, when you hover over it, will show you what you're going to get. You might get a bunch of some resource but lose some other resource. You might, get a new employee but make another employee sad. You might, I don't know, there's a lot of different things that can happen. Or you always have the choice of just doing nothing. If you don't like the outcome of either A option or B option, C is always go to the next day with doing nothing, right? So you're never locked into it. But again, the downside is that's a wasted day. You got nothing for that day if you just progress to the next day without making either choice. Okay, so what did the scanning tower do for us? Notice now we have a mini-map in the upper left. This is crucial when you go on missions and stuff because there is no map in this game. When you're in combat missions or whatever, there's no map. This is it. So you want to unlock this scanning tower first if you want to have some kind of mini-map. Now you can do without it. You saw we were doing it in the prologue without a mini-map, and we were running around following this little yellow arrow. But this at least gives you an outline, a contour of the area where you're playing. If it's a combat mission, you'll see the area where you can go through. It'll show enemies ahead of you, like it'll be red dots on the minimap, so you can kind of tell where enemies are and stuff. So it's worth getting first and foremost, at least in my mind. Okay, so it's wanting us to go to the world map essentially and do another mission. We do have some stamina though, so I think I'm gonna try and go around and use some of my stamina. Now, in the early stages, you're very limited on what you can collect. Like you can see there's some fruit here, and I used 2 stamina, so you see my bar over here went down a little bit. We're gonna want like some of the early stuff. We're gonna want biomass, we're gonna want some of the Cygnus. Oh, I can't get that yet actually. So I can't get any of the ores, so we're gonna be doing fruit and biomass, which is fine. And I gotta do another biomass because fruit takes 2, and I only have 1 left. And you want to use up all your stamina every day. You never want to go out to your world map and do a mission while you still have stamina, because that means you left, you know, action on the table, essentially. You left something you could have done on the table. Yeah, we can't do any of this yet because it's not unlocked, but the scanning tower gets us the mini-map, and that's the key thing. So let's hop out. Now, I could walk in here and integrate and interact with this to launch the world map. The other thing you can do is just click this down here. This little globe over here in the lower right hand corner. You can click that, but before we do that, I want to go over these 2 icons down here. So this home view over here brings you up to this home screen, right, which is essentially your base overview. You've got your player overview. You can see your current promotion level, and if there's any objectives for you to meet is here. You can click here to go to your character management screen. This is where you manage yourself, but as you get later in the game, you'll get employees to work in your base, and you'll have to manage them just like you manage your character. And they will be down here on the bottom. Obviously, our skills and abilities. Oh, we leveled up apparently with what we were doing there. So, yeah, I want the shield. Yeah, okay, we'll put it in here until we get shield. So we'll keep investing in the science until we get to 10. That's up in our critical hit chance and critical hit damage anyway, so I'm okay with that. Okay, then you get the promotion screen. The promotion screen shows you where your current level is, where you're trying to get to, which is employee, and it tells you what your objective is to get there. So we have to restore all 6 derelict buildings, and it then shows you what your rewards are going to be, right? So we're going to get 2 power cores, 10 circuit boards. We're going to get the employee console unlocked. The world map is going to expand to zone 2. We're going to get the build mode so we can start building onto the base, and then we're going to unlock research, right? So we want to try and get to that as soon as possible. This is your kind of quest log or quest journal. It's going to show you active quests that you have, both main and side, and then also let you go over and see what ones you've completed, right? And then this is your handbook. This is where you can come in to see like your creature lore, you know, information on each of the creatures you've run into, any equipment you've picked up. You can get the descriptors on that, characters that you meet throughout the story in the game, companies that you come in contact with, and then any of the stuff we covered in the tutorial is also here for you to look at. So that's the home screen. This other one is your inventory screen. Now this is basically super simple inventory. It just shows you what you have. As far as I know right now in my offline playthrough, there's no limit. There's no stack limit, and there's no item limit size, right? So you just collect stuff all day long as much as you want, and you never run out of space. There's no weight in your inventory or anything like that. It's overly simplistic, but greatly refreshing, right? Because you can go concentrate on the other aspects of the game and not worry about inventory management. So it just collects everything, stacks everything, and away you go. Both items, material, weapons, armor, crafting supplies, everything goes in here. And you can either filter or show all, right? So I could do equipment, materials, food, quest items, all. Now this little symbol you see on panels represents something new. This is bugged in the early access right now. It just kind of floats up there and doesn't really mean anything. But if you were to come into the inventory view and see one of these yellow dots on one of these squares, it means, hey, I just picked this up and it's a new item that I didn't have before. And hovering over it will clear that new item indicator, right? So unfortunately, this backpack's going to always show this little line because of this buggy thing, and it's a small bug, right? They'll fix it eventually. But that's your inventory screen. That's how simple and easy it is. So let's hop out and we'll go do another mission. Okay, so now you see we've got some of those new mission types. So I could do resource collecting. If I clicked this right now, it would instantly progress to the next day, and I would get the Cygnite bar and the red particles, right? I don't remember what they're called, but it would go instantaneously. The dilemma is that choose your own adventure type mission I talked about. And then we have 2 combat missions, right? And you can see as a reward here, I'd get 3 of those Solon bars. And then 3 Solon bars here too. But we want to try and progress into employee level so we get some more stuff unlocked. So we're just going to progress up through the story missions. We're going to go to the level 2 enemies this time.
The crash site should be nearby.
Okay, now you can see the mini-map.
Really needs to work on their aim.
Your valued feedback has already been submitted. Further complaining only detracts from the mission directive.
Okay, so here's our mini-map. The yellow box indicates where our mission objective is. And then obviously the light blue is the outline of the area where that's walkable, where we can walk. And red dots indicate baddies, right? Yeah, so you can see this has a little bit more spread to it, but it is a bit more powerful. And again, these crates do not show up on the mini-map, so you just have to explore if you want to try and find additional resources. You can see I collected something from that fallen enemy. It was biomass. Got a Signum bar out of that crate. Now, much like around our base, when you see glittering in the grass, that means there's a material you can pick up. I've been trying to keep an eye out for one so I can show it to you. And we may not get them this early on in the mission. I'm just overly exploring here because I want to try and locate additional resources. Because it's important early on in the game to get additional resources. That's a big baddie. I haven't seen any glittering yet. I was hoping to show you one of those, but let me just come over here and take this big guy out. Oh. Little dodge action there. And this is your dodge indicator in the middle here, this arrow. When you use it, it will empty and then it slowly fills up, right? So that's also a statistic that can be improved upon. Okay, I'm also trying to get weapon proficiency here, so that's why I'm going around finding things to kill. Not to mention the extra stuff they may drop. Alright, as you can see, there's basic weather in this game, like day, night, rainy, sunny, that kind of thing. So they've added a little bit of basic weather into the game as well.
Please hold this position while I extract a power core.
Yeah.
Warning, the ensuing information may attract undesired attention.
Hurry up, Pia. Defend for 38 seconds. And this is the life of my pod, or the health of my pod. Just gotta try and keep them from hitting the pod. So I gotta grab their aggro and I gotta take them out.
Let's initiate.
Okay, there we go.
I almost lost you back there, buddy.
Your concern is appreciated. After all, any damage to my unit may be deducted from your pay.
Alright, now we have to reach extraction point, and you can see on the minimap it's highlighted it up here. Like, this little yellow arrow is so insignificant. Usually when I'm fighting combat and stuff, it's hard for me to see. I just keep glancing up to the minimap. That's how I kind of navigate. Alright, we got a sniper rifle. I believe the gun we're currently using is more like an SMG. We'll see what it gives us experience in. Oh, it's just a pistol. It gave us more pistol experience. So you have pistol, assault rifle, sniper, minigun, and like explosive ordnance. Okay, handbook. We already went through the handbook. I showed it to you where you can get your different creature cortex and gear stuff and character information, tutorials and journals and all that stuff, right?
I must say I am highly satisfied with our performance as a team contractor.
Oh, does that mean I get a bonus?
No, the flattery was my attempt to raise your motivation at zero monetary expense. If you prefer a more tangible boon for your efforts, however, you should attempt to activate another building.
Okay, so the next building we want to most likely do is the processing plant, because this is going to allow us to craft things that we need for building other stuff, right? It's not going to let us craft weapons and armor. It's only going to let us craft materials, more advanced materials that we need, like power cores and signum bars from the raw resources.
Since the processing plant refines raw material, we should start gathering resources from the environment. Have a look to see if you can find any ore-bearing rocks around the base. I can collect them for you.
Okay, so that unlocked like the basic ore collection around the base. Now, not all of them. You can see like this aphentrite granules we can't harvest yet. They're locked out. But the Cygnus one, the Cygnite, we can, right?
Success. I extracted the materials that are of value.
This looks like something we can attempt to smelt in the processing plant.
Our proprietary signum alloy is the foundation of any colony. Try refining some ore into signum bars.
Okay, so we have this little objective over here called Q a signum bar. So we're going to go in here. And this is your crafting panel inside your processing plant. And if you hover over something, it'll show red and be dimmed out if you can't create it because you're missing an ingredient. But if you do hover over one that you can craft, you can see it says requires Cygnite ore. We have 10, and it requires 5, right? So essentially we could queue up 2 bars, which I'll do right now. And the way this works is this number underneath the item is kind of like the energy needed to craft it, and this shows you how much energy per day the processing plant has. So if I was to go to say like 175 total by adding things in the production queue, this little bar fills down, and then whatever's at the end would be like half full or 3/4 full, and it would finish on the next day, right? Because we don't have enough energy in one day to complete everything in the queue. Essentially how that works. I have 100 remaining. Could do... Okay, this is a good example. So I'm going to queue up 5 of these. Or 4 of them, rather. Right, so now it says remaining energy is 0. Because we've used all 150, right? But I still have materials to craft a Raynon Boole bar. So I'm going to put that in the queue. And you can see that it's sitting here. But it's not going to get completed. Because this bar here represents everything that will be completed when we process a day change cycle, right? When we go to the next day. So that means it'll be not the next day, but the day after we'll get this Raynon Boole, right? Because it'll process on the next day. Essentially, and that holds true for all of your manufacturing, whether it's processing plant, the factory, the garden center, basically anything where you're producing stuff, it's going to have this same system, right? Essentially, it'll produce a certain amount of energy per day, or or crafting points, I guess, is what they call it. And you'll consume those crafting points by adding things in a queue. And that's how that works. You obviously see slots up here for employees, so slotting people into the building as their job with a strength in what the building requires will increase this crafting points per day total, right?
I found this safety helmet while clearing out the plants mission area. I thought it would fit you.
Huh. Thanks, Pia. I'm sure it will come in handy.
Okay, so Pia just found us a helmet. So we go into our character screen. You can see the little, oh, we've got something new in our loadout tab. And I can click that, and then you can see, oh, this weapon was new, right? Okay, great. Now if I pop over to armor, oh, this helmet is new, right? So we're going to go ahead and equip that. And you can see it, like, your model changes when you equip various things, armor, etc. Your model will change, which is kind of cool. Little aesthetic, you know, something you don't expect in early access, right? Okay, so our next task is to restore the recycler. So we just have to go and we just make sure, yeah. So you can see these yellow dots represent stuff that we picked up from the last mission that we ran, right? So I picked up some of this organic compound, the bool bars. This is telling you that you have something new in equipment, something new in materials, something new in food, and quest item, right? So even though I'm hovering over and clearing them out, this equipment one doesn't ever clear. That's that bug we talked about. Yeah. So let's get into another mission, shall we? Oh, we got 5 points. That's a good thing. I almost like went into a mission wasting my points. Let's see. We'll grab one more biomass, and then I'm gonna grab a fruit from over here. Okay, so now we have no stamina left, which is good. We're not leaving any activity on the table. And we're going to go to our world mission. Okay. I was waiting for it to progress on its own. I forgot I have to click it. Okay, we're just going to go with the next story mission. I'm wondering if I wanted to, yeah, I don't want to equip the sniper rifle. Or do I? You know what, for the sake of this playthrough, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's go to our loadout. I'm going to swap out, I'm going to keep both on me. So I have a sniper rifle, and then I've got the kind of automatic pistol. That way you guys can see how that plays, and we'll just go into the next story mission.
I'm picking up on a large bio-signal reading near the cargo landing site. Remain vigilant, contractor.
I actually don't know what that right-click action is on the sniper rifle. Looks like it's a charged shot, maybe? Wow, I expected that to hit a lot harder for a sniper rifle. I don't know if I like that with only 10 shots. You get like 3 or 4 animals on you, you're gonna be in trouble. So you switch between your weapons with your mouse scroll. So you can see there's my automatic pistol, there's my sniper. Alright, it puts those guys down in 2 shots. Just gonna have to remember to kind of keep myself on full clip. Try and get some. Oh, let's see how we do against this guy. Oops. It was gonna take too long on that reload animation. I mean, I guess I didn't do too bad. Is that auto? Yeah, okay, so it doesn't auto reload when you swap weapons. That's good to know. Something I hadn't
Our
tested
power
before.
core has fallen into a pack of charging creatures. Dispatch them before proceeding.
Okay. And again, early access, so she was like giving a narrative there before we actually got to the objective. Because of where we were on the map, kind of our exploration of the map, I guess, triggered it. I've seen that happen before where it's like they've time-based it or something instead of like location-based it. I don't know, it seems a little weird. I just sometimes get those narratives early. Like I said, I like to check everything before I like. I'm completionist that way because they hide crates and things at the end of these peninsulas. Let's see. Oh, it pierces. Okay, that makes it a little bit different. Oops. Help if I had better aim. Like, there you go. There was a crate on the end of that peninsula, so that's why I went back, because I was kind of pretty certain there was going to be something. This is still technically kind of... Oh, there's one. I can get to that from over here. Yeah. This is still technically kind of tutorial-ish prologue, because we're still restoring the base, but... I like that pierces actually. That's a pretty good aspect. Makes up for the slow fire speed and the low mag size. Now obviously the minimap lets me see things before I can actually see them on my screen, right? So some people might think that's a little cheaty. I don't. I just think it allows me to plan my... this is most likely going to be our extraction zone out here. I just want to make sure there's nothing out here. Okay. Oh. Okay.
How'd this one get so big?
The bigger they are, the more organic materials available for harvest.
I don't think that's how that saying goes.
So this guy is a mini boss, and he has that mechanic where he shakes mud off. Oh, come on, my dodge is not coming back. See that like dusty thing where he like, they're right there. So it'll blind you if you're too close to him, so you avoid it by like keeping your distance. And I could be doing this with my automatic pistol, but I'm trying to beat him using the weapon we've decided to use this round. There we go. We ranked up our precision mastery as well. Alright, now we need to reach our extraction point. And usually when you have a reach extraction item on your mission, they're going to spawn in some new enemies, typically. Not always. But typically they'll spawn in new enemies even if you've already been over that part of the map. Doesn't look like that was the case here today, though. Alright, we did it. Okay, here's our end of day report. You can see that the things we queued up in the processing plant got crafted, and we had nothing else going on. So that's it for the end of day report for our base stuff. Here's our end of day report for our player. So we leveled up on our precision weapon mastery. We got some more crafting, manufacturing, and some more gathering, right? Based on our activities with our stamina and our buildings. And we leveled up to level 3. So, cool stuff.
feet are sore from all that walking. I could use a break.
You have accumulated null sick days. I am afraid I must deny your request. Some manual work is still required to render another building operational, however.
Let me guess. My manual work.
You guessed correctly.
The humor in this game is pretty good too. Alright, so here's our recycler.
Recycling decrepit items allows us to recover some of their value. Have a walk around the base and see if you can find any scrap to recycle.
Okay, so you can see these like little glints, flashes with this little white mark. That's what I was talking about earlier. You can find these on not only this map where your base is, and they refresh every day. They're just random, right? So they could be anywhere in the entire map. They're just randomly generated each day. Also, they're randomly generated on your combat maps. So as you're running through your combat map, you'll see glints in the sand, glints by a rock, glints under a weed or something, and you want to go over and interact with it. And it's a non-stamina costing collection, right? And the item you get from it is also random. Now, obviously, in this prologue, it's not, because it wants us to do a specific thing. But you can see my stamina is still full at 10. I gathered those without using any stamina. So picking up those free hidden objects around the map is a good way to get some early additional resources that you might need. Also, when you get to working on food, the only way to get grain in the early part of the game is to run around your map and find those glints and hopefully get lucky with RNG and get a piece of grain that comes out of it. Okay, so we retrieved all of this scrap, and it wants us now to recycle the scrap, right? So we're going to put that in there, and it's going to go, when we do another mission and cycle through our day, it will complete that. Oh, I guess I missed a sparkle somewhere. Oh, guess I should pay attention to my mini-map.
We collected quite a bit of stuff.
There you go.
Remember to drop off the scrap at the recycle lab. Company stat sheet 1178. Never plan.
Oh, it's only giving me 5 extra.
Ceased aggregate.
Queue scraps for salvaging in the recycler. I did that. Okay, we'll redo it. There we go. So you can always cancel out by right-clicking to remove an item in your queue, because it doesn't process or consume the materials until you actually cycle the day. So as long as you're still in this base building, maintenance part of the day, you can add and remove things to your queue at will without worrying about losing materials or whatever.
Hey, look what I found.
This piece of apparel appears to be your size. Let me clean it a bit.
Okay. So you can see now our overview screen has a little new icon. So you can click in here, you can see that we have a new icon on character. And you can see for us we have a loadout new item and an abilities new item. So we're going to come over here, and it's basically we leveled up. So we're going to go to our science and get us to level 10. Boom. Now, is that buggy? Huh. Interesting. Oh, I gotta unlock that first. Do I want to do that? Yeah, because I'm not. Okay. Well, I guess we have to. No choice. I don't have enough AP points to unlock the next thing I want, which is the shield. But our next level up, we'll get enough AP or enough skill points to do that. All right, let's see what we got from a loadout perspective. We got an assault rifle. Let's swap out for that. So I think what the prologue is doing here with giving you these different weapon types is letting you kind of start to play with them and see which play style you like, because that will matter moving as you get further into the game. Like, as you start to specialize your character with your attribute points and skills, which weapon class you kind of settle into matters. And I can go over why that is in a bit. I'll just put that smoke screen on my bar. I don't really use skills hardly ever. I just haven't found a need to. The balancing is... I can do what I need to do with just my weapon typically if I'm making sure to scale myself appropriately. It said we had new armor too, so let's go take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. Nope, that's... Oh yeah. So we got a cushioning foam vest, which she found in some rubble and cleaned off. So you can see our appearance changed. Okay. So now our next mission is to retrieve the last power core using the world map. We probably want to collect some more stuff and get some more things being made. Let's see if we can make anything new with what we already have. Okay, so let's up that. Let's get 2 of those being made. Let's see, I have 8 fruit on me already. I don't have any more Cygnite, so let's go find some Cygnite. Let's get some more bio matter as well. Alright, there we go. We used all our stamina points. And we'll get some more stuff queued up. Let's get 2 Signum bars queued up. And there we go. We got 6 remaining power, but that's fine. We don't have anything else. I mean, I could queue up some more biomass stuff, but I'm not going to for right now. Okay. What is this talking about here? Wait, did that not? Oh, I must have just leveled up by... I'm not quite sure what happened, folks. I don't know why all of a sudden I have more points. Oh, I leveled up. Okay, so we were gaining experience from gathering, and that gathering experience that we were doing with our stamina put us over the top for our level 3 to level 4. So we leveled up. So that's what happened. So it pays to pay attention to those new markers, because now I can come in and unlock that ability that I wanted in my science tree, which is a passive shield, right? Because I got the extra skill point I needed. And the other thing I'm going to do is start leveling up my medical, because I want to get medical to 10 so that I can get this bandage stash. Essentially, it's a passive ability that drops healing bandages when I dash or roll. It comes in real helpful in some of the tougher fights. So we're going to try and level up our medical. That's probably as far as I'm going to go in the medical tree, and we're going to focus on just doing science. All right. Enemy level 5. That's a level 5 pilot helmet. Yeah, they're going to be 1 level higher than us, so we don't want to go to that story mission just yet. So it pays to pay attention to what enemy level it is, and recommended gear score says 13. So if I go and look at my character right now, my gear score is exactly 13 right now, combat power. So, I mean, it's probably okay to be at the same combat score, but we don't want to be a level behind the enemy. So what we most likely want to do is try and level up. So we want to do a combat mission. These both give the same rewards. And once you click on them, you can kind of see what your objectives are. So this one is investigate the area, reach the extraction point. This one is retrieve broken power cores, right? Let's do this one. The gear score is 10. Enemy level 4, which is the same level as us. So we're gonna go on this mission. Okay, we're gonna try a new assault rifle out. I'm so happy I remembered to switch that out before we got here. Oop, I didn't even see that guy. Wow. Whoa. Do a lot of running around in the early part of the game just to dodge stuff. This guy's still alive. Come here. Okay. Okay, see that? That's the flash I was talking about. You see the little glint? And a little thing, if you come over and interact with it. We just got some mangled scrap. Now, it's not always mangled scrap. Could be items. Could be weapons, armor. Here's another one. That's a Cygnite ore right there we just got out of that. So it pays attention to explore around your map. And check for, you know, glints. And you'll see them. Sometimes they're harder to see. But like right there, right? Okay, there's another glint up here. You can see the sheer amount of extra materials you can get by just paying attention to that and actually exploring the whole map versus just running right to the objective. There is some bonus to be had from doing the exploration bit of it. And we got 2 of them. Ooh, that guy tried to bum rush me. Alright. The combat feels really good in this game. Like, it's real fluid. The haptic feedback from, you know, firing your weapon, the sounds. I really like it. I think they did a good job. Damn it. I want to get that. Can I walk over there? It's gonna end the mission, and I should have gone and collected that crate. That's why it matters to try and collect up everything before you hit your objectives, because it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna end the mission. Oh well. So you want to pay attention to stuff like that. Okay, we cycle forward our day. Keeps track of your days over here. Alright, so we successfully recycled our mangled scrap and we got a Signum bar and a Raynon Bool bar out of it, which is good. We finished crafting these 3 items. So we're going to get some experience with our crafting. We leveled up our assault rifle. We also leveled up ourselves. We also leveled up our crafting, research, extraction from the recycler, and our gathering, right? So fantastic. All right, well, we are at a little over an hour and 10 minutes. I want to try and keep these episodes to an hour, so we're going to call that here. The game doesn't really give you a save option. It saves automatically every time you cycle the day. And if you exit out of the game, you lose any progress you've made since the day cycled, right? So if I ran around and collected some stuff or did some settings, you know, put some things in the processing plant or recycle plant, and then exit out of the game, I'll lose all that work, right? So this is a good place to stop. because we just cycled the day. So we're going to call it there. Again, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this game and whether you want to see more of it. And it gets a lot deeper and a lot more involved. We haven't even gotten to the base building stuff yet, which we will be getting to hopefully in the next episode. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing this game, and I hope you guys are enjoying the video. So until I talk to you again soon, enjoy your gaming, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.